Hello, Centennial Flyers. This is Scott. Just a quick video on how to schedule, dispatch, and finally check yourself in on the new FlightCircle software we're using for scheduling. Getting right into it, schedule a flight. Just click on a day you want to schedule. New reservation window will populate. Reservation type primary. You also have the ability to put in cross country if it's a cross country flight, but defaults to primary. Member name, you just start typing in your name and it should populate. Scott. Departure return date defaults to a 2-hour window. Aircraft. Going to Diamond Star today. Schedule with, this will be for an instructor, so you can put in an instructor that you're flying with. If you are an instructor, make sure the member is in the member field, or if it's a new member or a discovery flight, make sure you're just in the member field. Location, Centennial Airport, should default to that. Obviously, we have one aircraft in Salida at the moment, but make sure the location actually says Centennial. Plug in a route, VFR, IFR, and any notes. Always a great idea to put in where you're going. We really appreciate that. So as soon as you're done with that, click on Save. And before I do that, just real quick, up in the top right, there's a couple of tabs. There is a discrepancy tab. So before you schedule the aircraft, you can actually look and see any discrepancies that are on the aircraft at this time. So if you like that, click on Save. It is web-based, so it takes a couple seconds, but as soon as I click on Save, you notice it populated up on the schedule. There I am. If you hover the mouse over it, or if you're on a personal device, it should show just a couple of the details of the flight. Let's say we arrived at the aircraft and we're ready to dispatch to ourselves. Just click on your reservation, click on Dispatch. The confirmed dispatch screen will populate. At the top, it's going to do an aircraft check, and at the bottom, it's going to do a check on yourself. So an aircraft check, it's showing the Hobbs out, the TAC out. Those were both entered by the previous pilot. Any maintenance items, so green is good, obviously, yellow is upcoming, and red can mean no dispatch. If you click on the maintenance, it'll actually bring up all the upcoming maintenance items that are populating, such as ELT, pedostatic, all that. So it's a great way to double check that. Service tracker, this will show oil, fuel that was added in the last few days. Open discrepancies. So if you click on open discrepancies, it'll actually show you what discrepancies have been written up and the previous date. So here's a new pending discrepancy. And notice it's in red because it's pending, it hasn't been verified yet. So in this case, the aircraft is actually not dispatchable with any red messages. As we go down, it's going to do a check on you. So it's going to see if you have a balance, if you're checked out in the aircraft, if you have a medical uploaded, passport, all that. Right now, I have it as just a warning if you don't have those items, but in the future, you won't be able to dispatch unless everything on your account is set. The last block here, I agree to squawk any new tire damage before dispatch. That's just saying if there is tire damage, that you'll squawk that damage right now before you actually dispatch the aircraft. Once you dispatch the aircraft, you're signing for the aircraft at that point. Let's say there was tire damage. In that case, I'm not going to dispatch at the moment. I'll exit out of this screen. I'll go back to my reservation, edit, and this tab up here, discrepancies, here's all the discrepancies. I would go right here and add a new discrepancy. Report by who is reported, the status, and tire damage, tire flat spot, I would say. Right. And then you would create a discrepancy. I'm not going to do that right now, but that would be how you would do that. So I'm going to go back to my reservation, to the dispatch screen. Okay, confirm dispatch. So there was no tire damage, let's say, so I'll click on it, the check mark. As soon as I click on it, the dispatch button will turn blue, and you can dispatch to yourself. Now, normally you wouldn't get this screen, but like we talked about earlier, there is a pending discrepancy that it won't let you dispatch. I'm going to override that as an admin at the moment, but normally you wouldn't be able to do that. You would have to call. Once you dispatch yourself, notice that the flight is now in green up here. If it's green, it's been dispatched. Blue, it's awaiting dispatch. And gray means it's already back. Let's say we just finished our flight. Click on our flight. We're going to check in now. As soon as I click on check in, it's going to populate with this screen. Check-in process. So this is where we're going to enter the hobs and tack times. So let's say we did 13:52 and we did 4:01.5 on attack. It does the math for us. So 2.0 flight time, 1.5 tack. Aircraft rate. Here's how you can select if you want check, cash, Zelle, PayPal, credit card. The payment system right now is not changing. So if you select check, just leave a check in the aircraft. Cash in the office. Zelle is the exact same. PayPal is the exact same. Credit card is an upcoming feature where you can add your credit card to the file and just pay immediately on credit card that you have on file. So in this case, I'll just plan on using a check. Click next. Here's if you added any oil to the aircraft, and it should be always in whole quarts. Let's say we added 1 quart. Next screen, adjustments. This is mainly used for if you have fuel reimbursement. So if you purchase fuel off field, you could click on fuel reimbursement and put in a location, the gallons of dollars. This will automatically deduct those expenses from your balance. Resources, that's more for an administrative side of things and future use. So you won't have anything to put there. Next. All right. This is really for instructors. Instructors can add times onto their rates. In this case, we're going to skip that. Most instructors aren't using it at this point, but it's something that can be added. Next, this is the final screen check-in process. So it's doing all the hard math for us. 2 hours, and your total. I did have a existing balance of $1.09, so it's going to say that I owe $397.09. In this case, you just reselect one more time how you're paying. Check. Have the ability for a description and finish. As soon as you click finish, a receipt will populate. You can email that to yourself, and you have a receipt. So hope this helped a little bit. If you have any questions, feel free to call or text me anytime, and safe flying. Appreciate it.